Hello there. Thank you for clicking on my video in particular today. And yeah, I just thought I should first start off with thanking the viewer for watching my video in particular. And then we can just go straight into it pretty much. So, first thing I want to talk about is, did I enjoy the beta? Which I did enjoy the beta a lot. I played it for 48.9 hours. And some of those hours don't count because I had food poisoning, but I still did play it for a long time, and I streamed my entire journey of me playing this game on my Twitch channel, which I will put in the description if you want to check it out at the end of this. I don't blame if you don't though, because that's completely fine. You don't have to check it out. But the next thing I will talk about is weapons, like with the cleaver. And the cleaver I had toughness on it, which toughness basically gave me back my shield whenever I hit enemy. Then I had the Reaper, which is a really good and satisfying weapon to use throughout the entire experience. You'll see more about it later. Other melee weapon there was the club, which the club was really good against armored enemies in particular, because it knocked them down really well, so it was really useful because of that one reason. Yeah, that's pretty much about it. And the other one was called the old kickback, if I remember correctly. Now, the old kickback had a bunch of problems with it in the beta, like the fact that it wasn't very good at doing really any type of real single target damage. And like the whole job of it was not to do single target damage in the beta, which I don't think was a smart decision. Mostly because then not many people would rock that gun at all. Because the one job I want from it, if you have one bullet in it, is for it to do a good amount of special damage, which it did not do. Because what it did instead was that it knocked special down, which made it not as useful as it could have been if you were to just kill the target outright. Considering you only have one shot and you have to reload it afterwards. The second issue, which was like was a very clear bug with the weapon, was that whenever you would try to reload the gun, it would make you commit to reloading the gun for some godforsaken reason. I don't know why, but it would make you commit to reloading the gun, so I almost died because of that reason at one point. And because of that, because of me dying there, because of it causing my death there, it just made me not want to use the weapon nowhere near as much. Even when I had a way higher tier version of the weapon, it just was not satisfying to use compared to the Ripper gun at all. So yeah, that's the very overall breakdown for that weapon. And we're gonna get ready to talk about, and yeah, I almost forgot the club. The club, there was pretty much no issues with it. It served the same purpose as the kickback, basically, where it knocked down specials. There's one job with the knockdown specials at the end of the day, and can deal with them pretty well. So it was really good at dealing with armored enemies in particular. Like the Crusher as an example for people that have played, but I'm expecting not a lot of people have played it, so they don't know exactly what a Crusher is. But yeah, that should be the first segment done. I'll see you in the next segment. Hello, welcome to the next segment. This one is talking about perks. The first one I'm going to talk about is called Loyal Protector. Loyal Protector just straight up doesn't work as intended. Because I would assume, right, if you're getting shot by bullets, you shouldn't get interrupted at all. And I will show other examples of this happening, but I won't be talking over them. I'm just gonna have the clip play. So I'll see you in a bit. Alright. In this clip, I get picked up, and you can see the enemy hit doesn't register. I noticed that this happened for every character, not just for my character, which I know is intended because it worked the same in the other game that they released called Warhammer Vermintide 2. So I'm not expecting too much different there, to be honest. This seemed pretty normal, honestly, no shooter. And the next thing I want to talk about is performance. I forgot to say next segment, but it's okay. And overall, performance in this game was a mixed bag. At least in the beta, it was a mixed bag. Where sometimes it would perform very perfectly, but then there'd just be random times where my FPS would just drop to 40, like in this clip you're seeing, where my FPS would drop like crazy. But I ain't gonna talk too much about it because I think any person that played the beta already know that the FPS was a problem, so I think they will easily fix that whenever it comes out. Another problem that I saw was the grenade for the Ogren in general. I almost forgot to talk about, I'm talking primarily about Ogren in this video, because I played Ogren. But the simple breakdown for Ogren is that the grenade is bad because it can only hit one character. And that's it. That's literally all it does. It hit one character. It does pretty much no damage to bosses in its current state. And it came in one shot of Crusher, so I recommend giving your grenade to the other classes since they can do crowd control things while your thing just only hit one target. So that's why I kind of think the grenade in general is kind of bad. You do get a perk, of course, that does allow you to hit multiple targets, but even with that perk, it didn't feel like it was very good. Overall, I wouldn't recommend. Alright, so now what you're seeing is pretty much how a Heresy 4 difficulty mission can be like at certain situations. This is like just genuinely how many enemies you have to deal with. This is like my first couple of attempts of trying to do this. I have only gotten one victory while doing this whole thing, by the way. And I primarily played this throughout my beta, so I never got a chance to get to level 30 with my character, or really had a chance to do Damnation, even though I wanted to. It just wasn't available. Point is, though, this is kind of how many enemies there are normally in a Heresy level. Yeah, you can kind of tell it's kind of rough. Kind of rough to deal with this. So yeah, I'll see you in the next section. And yeah, that's about it for now. See you there. Okay, so the next segment we're going to talk about is Crushers. And in this clip right here, you will see me hit this dude with multiple heavy attacks. And even though I have like a 50% melee damage bonus against this guy, it takes me like multiple different strikes to hit this guy. I'm not counting exactly. I almost got trapped also. It came down to the point where I had to run away from the guy and have my teammates help. That's kind of how bad it was. And I just felt like Crushers in general are kind of a bit overtuned in some ways. Like, I'm assuming this is a bug, right? But you can literally get hit through the block. I believe the heavy attack you can get hit through your block. And you usually just insta-die, or it takes away a good majority of your health. And then also keep in mind that I have a 50% resistant to Crushers. So you can imagine that me taking that amount of damage is crazy. Like, even with that 50% extra resistance I get. And also, I do a lot more damage to them too, so yeah. There is another clip I made to show, which was the fact that I killed the Crusher. Well, throughout my entire time in the beta, of course. My teammate killed this Crusher really fast, like really fast. So I threw a grenade box at this Crusher. Then I spam a couple of lights. Then I hit him with one heavy attack, and then I hit him with this clean heavy attack. And that was it. That was the quickest I killed a Crusher that I can find throughout my time streaming and playing for the game. And yeah, that's pretty much about it. Alright, welcome to Warhammer Vermintide 2, the sequel or prequel of DarkTide. I'm going to be killing a Chaos Warrior in one shot, and I'm going to be blocking the heavy attack Chaos Warrior. There's also other examples of the Chaos Warrior being one-shotted in the two videos I'm showing. There's also healing and reviving tech. And Vermintide 2 is free at the moment when I got this video released. I will talk about when it's no longer free in the description. And I will show other clips of me one-shot in the Chaos Warrior, but I won't be talking over it. So I'll see you in the next segment.
Chaos Warrior! Oh, such vileness! The crime is your foul existence! Your sentence is death! You're next! The shadows cannot escape judgment!
Okay, now we're on to mutants and how they work. As you can see in this example, mutants will just charge right after you, even if you dodge it, or counter it in some type of way. Mutants just do not care at all, basically. They don't care at all, they would just charge again, even if you dodge perfectly. So the best way for you to deal with them is for you to dodge out the way, and then move out the way. And I will show some examples of how that works. So yeah, see you then. Here's a really good example of this. Like I dodge right here perfectly, and then I just quickly shoot him. That's it.
That's the mutie ended! Reloading!
Alright, now this was the one single time a mutant was really annoying in this situation. I get grabbed by the mutant and there were two trappers there waiting for me, and you're gonna see kind of what ended up happening a little bit later, but overall I don't have a real problem with the mutant in its current state. I just think that the charge can be kind of annoying at times, but he doesn't do a lot of damage as you saw there. But trappers on the other hand are a different story. As you heard, that is the only sound that you get for the trapper. Of course you can see him, shooting it at you, but in that situation I was dealing with a horde, so I couldn't really look at him while fighting the horde. And as you saw, I couldn't do anything once I got trapped, and then the enemy just immediately killed me right afterwards, which I don't personally like that mechanic because whenever you go down, right, you lose. You see that purple bar on the other guy's health? That purple bar there, whenever you go down, pretty much put to recommend like a section of your health getting removed. So whenever you go down and get revived, now that whole section is gone. So if the enemy just didn't attack me, and I just took a damage over a time effect instead, I still can go down, right? But at least, right, I won't like lose a whole health bar and just be permanently dead because the enemy can just attack me right afterwards. Another suggestion I was thinking for this problem would be, right, if I could break out of the net. Now, this is an example of when there are two trappers. And also, if you get comboed on, like I got comboed on by a suicide bomber called a Pox Burster. But yeah, this is an example of how strong two trappers are. I thought there was one trapper, right, so I tried to warn him, but there was a second trapper right there. So there are two. You gotta see how, in this example, two trappers are very oppressive, and they pretty much just win the game. And this clip right here is showing how to deal with a Pox Burster in a really efficient way, and how to dodge the trapper right there. And once you dodge the trapper, you can just pretty much murder the trapper right afterwards. The rest of the clip is basically just showing me running away from another trapper. There's another one about to trap me. That's pretty much it on like how to avoid trappers and such. And we should be getting ready to go to the next section. Yeah, that's pretty much it. There's one other thing I forgot, which is that there's no invincibility frames when you get revived or when someone hits a guy off you, which is something pretty important that I should talk about a little bit. Alright, one of the main issues that I have with Ogren as a class was pretty much that he wasn't tanky. Like in this clip right here, I get melted by straight up one enemy. Only one enemy, by the way. And I end up getting shot by a bunch of enemies that I didn't even know was shooting at me. I lost a good amount of my HP. In this clip, which you already saw before, I lost all my HP because of a bug. So you can kind of imagine that, when you lose all your HP that easily, especially in higher difficulties, which will happen a lot, it just make the character feel kind of underwhelming and weak in those situations when you should be able to push, rather than, you know, stay in the back and trying to shoot them in the back when you're supposed to be a push type character. And also, one other major issue I had with like damage towards bigger enemies, where it felt more like you were relying on your teammates way too much with this class, especially for bigger enemies, because you had basically no range. You couldn't really push towards enemy because you die really fast, like you saw in those clips. And you gotta consider. Yeah, I'm sorry about that. I just made her hit my table. And you gotta consider, right, that all my weapons are short range. So, when you consider all those things together, it makes this character really rely on teammates a lot harder than they should. And it just doesn't seem like good design to me, because if my teammate die, then I basically die. And I just don't like that design, because it's just... because sometimes you just don't have good teammates. So I just lose the game because I just outright don't have good teammates, so... feel kind of bad. But overall, hopefully this stuff gets fixed by the time when the game comes out. And I'm going to now show some boss killing. Alright, see ya. Yeah, I know, this is a freeze frame right now. And I'm pretty sure this is going to be the thumbnail too, but point is, right, is the whole reason why I have this as a freeze frame is because I want to show you why I'm going to become a preacher main instead of an ogre main in the full release of DarkTide. I couldn't think for a minute. Because this boss damage is insane. I'm not going to talk over the boss damage because I kind of want you to see it yourself. And, you know, kind of observe yourself and see how ridiculous it is. I don't want it to be changed, because I think it's fine. I just kind of want other characters to have similar DPS in the late game. Anyway, enjoy the clips. Oh my goodness. What the? One? Oh.
We have death. Thicker than you are.
Smite the head! Scatter its evil wit!
Well, of course.
I require more!
Alright, well, there's only one last part of the video now, which is basically me showing kind of like a compilation, well, one video in particular, that kind of shows some of the issues without me really talking about it. And it shows some of the issues in the game that I kind of experienced. Now, I didn't experience the issue daily, and I do want to say that I did enjoy the beta, even with the issue that I had. I know I said it at the beginning, but I feel like I should say it again. And I definitely want to check out the game when it comes out. But I do hope that a lot of these issues do get fixed whenever the full game comes out. Anyway, you can go ahead and enjoy your enjoy the final clip you get, and enjoy the ending to the video, which is just me just saying goodbye pretty much. See ya.
Too much blood. Trust me, Psycho. I won't hurt you.
Quickly! Omni rise!
Stomp! Stomp! I have you, Psycho.
Please pick you up. Why is there a trapper just immediately there, ready to go? Oh, that's so lame. Yeah, so we're at the end of the video now, and I just basically want to say that if you like the video, you can subscribe and give me with a like button. I don't usually like asking for that type of stuff, but because I'm at currently 10 subscribers, I feel like I kind of have to say that. And if I should have everything organized at the bottom in the description, so like if you want to read more about, if you want to read more about the person I was originally talking about, Benny, then I will have it linked in the description, and also you can use to find other different people's experiences with the other characters, since I focus primarily on Ogren throughout my entire experience and see what the person I played the most. Overall, yeah, this is the end of the video, and I will see you next time if you do subscribe. And that's it. See ya.